and I had cursed the universe. I said, or God, not even the universe. I cursed God. I went straight to the management. I was like, God, if
You
you
skipped over
exist,
everything. Yeah.
I did. I skipped right to the top. I was like, God, if you exist, I don't know anything about you, but I
Hmm.
know there's something else going on. And I'm so over
Yeah.
this nonsense of a game,
Yeah.
bullshit life you gave. And I just
Hmm.
cussed and said, I know there's something else going on here. You show me. Show me. I want to
Hmm.
see it now.
So, Mandy, welcome. And thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
So, I want to know, you are Mandy, also known as Cosmic Coyote, right?
I am on social media platforms, yes.
So, how did that start?
So the social media aspects started last March of 2025.
Hmm.
And before that, I was facilitating group experiential channeling and learning and teaching and things like that. And from everything from teenage inner city kids, and not from a
Mm.
spiritual perspective, from a human perspective,
Yeah.
from just inner city kids. But I've been channeling for 15 years, and I was doing it in my home. And then I taught a class called Get Real with Yourself for 7 years in a nearby town. And then I moved,
Hmm.
and I wasn't doing much of anything. And channeling happens, and it just happens regardless, whether it's a gas station parking lot or a grocery store line or on an airplane sitting next to someone, just like, yeah, I'm not going to give them that message yet. It's still a 2-hour flight. I'll wait until. And so there's no really pause button on
Yeah.
this kind of gig that I'm in. And I have many gigs, but channeling is kind of my go-to. So when spirit
Yeah.
calls, if you want to call it spirit or that higher guidance system, it says, oh, okay, tune in. And out of nowhere, just one day, it said, go get on TikTok.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so I went in the other room and got my son and said, hey, I got to get on TikTok right now. We all get on TikTok. I have a message. And it's been a ride. It's been a ride ever since. And so now I'm doing lives and Instagram, and I just putting these reels out there. I don't
Yeah.
even know what I'm doing. So how did it start? Cosmic Coyote, to the background of Coyote. I run around with natives,
Mm-hmm.
or have been. That's my, I would say, devotional
Mm-hmm.
practice. So people have devotional practice of kirtan or yoga. Mine's on the Red Road. So I have teachings of indigenous teachings that they call the Red Road. And
Wow.
on that, I started to connect the dots and become a bridge of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And through channeling, there's an ability that comes through to just kind of break down the language barrier between cultures and religions and belief
Mm.
systems. So Coyote is kind of that don't follow me, I'll show you how not to do things kind of spirit about it. Some people would say it's the trickster, something like that. And I'm known around, and my spirit is known as that kind of Coyote spirit. And so I asked, well, what do I call myself? And it
Mm-hmm.
just was inspired, Cosmic Coyote. And I was like, all right, here we go. I'm out of the closet completely now.
So
Everybody
who
knows.
so who were you before you came out of the closet? Because most of us just weren't born into this.
I was stay-at-home mom raising 5 kids,
Oh
and
wow.
uh, teaching drill team at my daughter's school, and it's just family,
Yeah.
family, 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 rearing kids. That's it. But it wasn't. That's it. This
Mm-hmm.
happened. I've been this way my whole life.
Yeah.
But in the closeted form, it was almost like when it was abrupt, people
Yeah.
either got scared or they'd ask questions. Oh, she's
Mm-hmm.
doing it. She's doing it. And I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
It took me going to see a medium for her to say, oh, yeah, this is what you're doing, and you're like me. And she helped train me
Wow.
just
So
to open it all the way up.
how did your family and those like closest to you, like how did they react? Like how did they feel about all of this?
So When they were scared, it was calling me a witch or get out of my head or stop with your psychic nonsense.
Yes.
I learned at a very young age to keep my mouth closed
Yeah.
because it scared people. I wasn't ever spiritual,
Yeah.
if you would say. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
reach towards God. I didn't reach towards anything. It's almost as if I was free flowing through life. I've always been a rebel since I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Very rebellious teenager, rebellious school systems, authority, you name it. I came out of the womb like, here I am to break all the rules to keep all of you on your toes. And I continue to do that. Even when I was raising kids, I was the one going in, kind of pressing upon administration in school about changing
Mm-hmm.
policies. And I was the one in there saying, I'd like to speak to the kids. We're going to talk about bullying.
Yes.
I was a trailblazer, bulldozer, people called me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until my mother passed that I became so-called spiritual. But for that, I was doing the psychic gig.
Yeah.
I was actively participating with what people would call the woo-woo people.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I had an awakening, a quantum leap of sorts, I lost everyone. I
Yeah.
have a couple people in my life right now that were in my life pre my mom passing and the year that followed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything fell away. My entire life
I've
just
heard that
crumbled.
so much, so many times. So, what did that look like for you? Like when you had your awakening?
So as I said, my mom passed. That was the big rattling, right?
Mm-hmm.
After that, my husband left, and then I broke my back, and I was laying on my back for 3 weeks, couldn't
Oh,
walk,
yeah.
and just sitting there with all my mental terrorism, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the beginning. Now that hindsight that I look
Yeah.
back, is the
Yeah.
beginning was the dark night. It was me getting thrown into the most uncomfortable positions possible.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened, the story of even like how it happened, I don't even know. It sounds different every time. I was reading cards in a rock shop, and I don't read tarot. I've told people online and stuff. I said, I don't read tarot. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about the pagan way of being. I haven't studied any of that. I don't know anything
Right.
about that. But I read cards, poker cards, and for whatever reason, I could read regular playing poker cards.
Hmm.
And so I was reading in a rock shop, and there was some things that had happened previously that I kind of peeked behind the veil.
Right.
And I was like, there's something more going on here. And most of it was buried in grief from my mother and the loss of my mobility and my husband leaving that hadn't been dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
So also like buried in a whole bunch of other trauma. Some would say from a psychological point of view, I had serious spiritual psychoses or disassociation.
Yeah.
But what happened was I was reading cards and I had cursed the universe. I said, or God, not even the universe. I cursed God. I went straight to the management. I was like, God, if
You
you
skipped over
exist,
everything. Yeah.
I did. I skipped right to the top. I was like, God, if you exist, I don't know anything about you, but I
Mm-hmm.
know there's something else going on, and I'm so over
Yeah.
this nonsense of a game,
Yeah.
bullshit life you gave. And I just
Mm-hmm.
cussed and said, I know there's something else going on here. You show me. Show me. I want to
Mm-hmm.
see it now. And some really bizarre things happened leading up to just this week. And I was reading cards, and this native man walks into the rock shop where I was working. And it was just a
Mm-hmm.
rock shop. It wasn't real woo woo. I mean,
Yeah.
we had a couple psychics and just crystals and things. And he walked in, he was talking to the shop owner, and his version of the story is quite great. Maybe he'll be on my podcast.
I
Because
will definitely listen to that.
it's so fun. He's so great, and he's quite intimidating. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he is not approachable.
Yeah.
And I peeked around the corner, and the spirits that I would work with, if you want to call it that,
Mm-hmm.
however it works,
Yeah.
kind of was poking me, going, listen, he knows what you
Mm.
want. He knows where you're going.
Mm.
And I peeked around the corner and said, excuse me, sir. You don't know me, but
The
the spirits
unapproachable
back here,
man. Right.
the spirits back here are telling me that you know where I want to go, and I'm wondering where you go. This is no joke.
I love it.
And he goes, yeah, I'm going to a ceremony. And I was like, Nice. Like what's
Yeah.
a ceremony? Now mind you, I haven't been all spiritual, so like full moon ceremonies,
Yeah.
um nothing. I knew nothing. Okay. I knew nothing. So I still know nothing. So he now I know nothing even greater than I knew
Yeah.
before, but besides
Yeah.
the point. So he told me yes, and he wrote down the instructions on a scratch piece of paper, and he said, "This is how you get here." Wrote it down, and the instructions were like this: turn left at mile marker 47, turn left at the big rock that looks like a buffalo, turn right at the 40K. And so I'm off grid 2.5 hours from home in the high desert. I'm losing cell service and I'm just four-wheeling up this mountain and going, I don't even know what I'm doing. And he said,
Yeah.
there'll be flags. Go ahead and just follow the flags. Once you get on this road, there'll be flag markers. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
all right. And so I got up there and I was up there for 5 or 6 days,
And
sleeping
keep
on
in
the back of my
mind,
car.
you just approched this man. It's very
Oh, yeah.
intimidating approach. You wrote down these
Yes.
directions and you ended up somewhere like
And
out
I
like
don't have
in
his
the
phone
middle of
number.
nowhere.
Yes. No, I don't even have his phone number. I don't know his name. I don't know this man. It's just
Yes.
scratch piece of paper completely on a whim. Indeed.
I love this.
So I go out into the desert and I'm there for 6 days. And throughout that time, I saw things that I don't speak on.
Right.
It was a traditional Lakota or ceremony. It's called Sundance.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there, I'm comfortable saying that. I guess it's called Sundance. It's a healing ceremony, and while I was up there, the things that I saw were mind blowing. And mind you, the whole time I'm up there too, he would
Mm-hmm.
go around and tell people, "I picked that witch up at the rock shop. She'll give you a psychic reading if you ask her." And I'm going, dude. Like, I'm gonna get crucified out here.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do. So the ceremony went, and I was so high. I
Mm-hmm.
was so high, sober, but I was
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
high that the very last night the ceremony had closed, and this is how it happened. I went to go to my car, and something turned me around, and it was dark. And at this ceremony, there's only one fire, so there wasn't any light.
Right.
And I was getting ready to get in my car, and I turned around, and I just almost involuntarily walked back to this man's camp. And it was him
Mm-hmm.
and his buddy, his brother, I guess, not his buddy, but
Mm-hmm.
I sat in his camp and he proceeded to coyote my ass, if you want to call it that. He basically took all of my fears and all of my shadow and all of my
Wow.
internal thoughts that I'd ever had that I had never told anybody, and he blasted me with every dark, shadowy thing that ever it was surreal.
Yeah.
It's not even, there's not words to describe what happened in that moment. And he was coming at me, and there was a part where I got so scared and so angry.
Mm.
I stood up and I went to go choke him out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was going to stand up and be like,
Yeah.
shut up,
Yeah.
right? And I went to go stand up and I fell flat on my face. I wasn't in my body at all. I didn't even catch myself. I just
Yeah.
fell on the ground. And I looked at him and I said, put me back in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'm not done yet. And he kept going.
Oh wow.
Now, this is not traditional. I want to make
Yeah.
sure everybody knows
Everybody
this is
knows that.
not part of the ceremony. The
Yeah.
ceremony is closed. This is not traditional way.
Mm-hmm.
This was a divine intervention from a man who was
Yeah.
receiving his guidance, who knew that I was a tough nut to crack and that I had cried to Creator and I had,
Mm.
like I had begged, pleaded, and
It's answering
swore.
everything you'd asked for. Yeah. I see it.
So I went to bed and I cried myself to sleep and I prayed for death.
Hmm.
And there are people now, after studying the Bible, there are many in the Bible and there are many around many traditions that have said their breaking point is when they ascended the ego perspective,
Yes.
if you will.
Yes.
So I prayed for death. I cried myself to sleep and I woke up and I was different. It was
Hmm.
just like that. I woke up, and when I woke up, I was like Jim Carrey on the red carpet.
Yeah.
None of this exists. We're just here floating and bumping into each other and waves of energy. I
Yeah.
could hear people's thoughts. I could see the lights melting into auric fields. I could see people's unconscious thoughts changing people's physical behavior. So it took me 3 years actually
Wow.
to really ground back into my body, to
Mm-hmm.
not feel like I was on this acid trip that wouldn't
Yeah.
turn off.
Yes.
Because that's really what it was. I just had a
Yeah.
complete dissolution of the ego, but it was a sober experience, and it was from being so afraid I was willing to die and not willing to. I wanted to, and I begged
Yeah.
for it. And it can't be faked. Someone can't fake that kind of desperation, right?
No. No.
And it was just too scary. It was too much. And so I woke up and I've been hammering away ever since. That was 15 years ago. I went home and I don't just people were looking to have an intervention, see if I needed to be institutionalized. I mean,
Sure.
15 years ago, the awakening process was not mainstream.
No. Not at all.
Once in a while, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
that's it. I mean, in a nutshell,
That's incredible. Like that is terrifying and incredible all in the same. For most, it doesn't happen that way.
no, it's very uncommon, and there's a reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
It took me 10 years to even acclimate my body.
Yeah.
Eckhart Tolle talks about his experience was like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few of them that are, but physicists and spiritual masters will say, rare.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Quantum leaps are rare. But what I look at now, hindsight, was that I had an opportunity for growth since I was a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I was having this communication with the other side. But since I put my e-brake on,
Yeah.
it's almost as if, like in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, they put it up on the thing and put the, and so I'm
Yes.
tracking all this mileage, or
Yeah.
trying to go back, if you will, but I'm tracking all this mileage, and then all of a sudden the foot came off the brake, and it was
Yeah.
just, here I am. And so, yeah, I haven't met another that's had it
Yeah.
quite like that.
Mm-hmm. So
But
what happened at, well, first, like when you were younger, I know you didn't fully understand the abilities you had, but did you know that you were channeling or that you were psychic or what did you think of all of that?
so I didn't know it wasn't that everybody didn't have it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You thought that was
I
normal
just,
because that was
yes.
your normal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Until I got into junior high and kids were a little bit wary of me because I'm trying
Yeah.
to like use energy to push the pencil across my desk and
Yes.
talking to spirits. Like,
Yes. Yes.
and I had a couple people just tell me, like, you need to quit talking, like you're scaring me. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, hold on, I'm having a conversation over here. And it was quite like that. And I had a run-in with the dark side for sure when I was
Yeah.
young.
Mm-hmm.
And that also put the brake on more after I had children. When I had my
Mm-hmm.
first, I was like, I don't want her to have anything to do with any of it,
Mm.
because I did seen the dark side of things. Now, the dark side of things does not mean it was my shadow, my psyche, my trauma showing its face. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I can't say. Some people will say they know for certain the dark side or the light side of things. And for me, I'm going, no, none of us know.
I know. Yeah. We really
Not
don't
really.
know.
And then precognition, I would say, was more than the channeling. When I went into that medium that I spoke of, she looked at me, she goes, you need
Mm-hmm.
to get out of bar bathrooms and gas station parking lots. Because that was when I
Hmm.
would channel the most, is when I was in a flow state running around town and just get in a
Mm-hmm.
conversation with someone, and then I would just like dump it. And then I get back in the car and go, that
Yeah.
was weird. And so I wasn't aware I was channeling till I spoke to that woman. But as far as precognition
Yeah.
and psychic abilities to know something was going to happen before it happened,
Mm-hmm.
that was obvious, and I had no explanation for it.
So after you had your experience with the intimidating guy and you went to the ceremony, um, and you came home and you said it took you 10 years, 15 years, 10 years to really like come
So it was
back.
Yeah, 3 years to come into my body, and then 10 years to start working through my stuff.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
what did that 10 years look like?
Oh, wow. A lot of ceremony.
Yeah.
Uh, Sweat lodges, monthly, mm, 3 or 4 or 5 ceremonies, big ones during the summertime. It
Mm-hmm.
looked like teaching. I had teachers, elders in that
Mm-hmm.
community that I was learning from. I was listening to winter teachings. It was just absorbing. It was
Yeah.
teaching me everything. I'm a sponge right now. And they have a beautiful way of teaching. Their storytelling and their creation stories
Mm-hmm.
are, they're universal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And all the master teachers taught like that. It's a universal. Those parables can be plugged into any truth in any which way, and how we read it from where we are, no
Yeah.
matter where we're at on our spiritual journey. So for
Mm-hmm.
those years, I was learning, teaching, and I was also being trained. So there were people that could see my gifts, and elders and people that had similar gifts, and they wouldn't just take me under the wing and start teaching me without my permission, but I'd go to them and say, will you teach me? I can see that you're doing this.
Yeah.
And so, and none of that had anything to do with channeling. Channeling is so far outside the native way and my devotion. When I
Yeah.
go, I'm listening and I'm in a prayerful space and I'm in a connecting to creation space. When
Mm-hmm.
I'm channeling, it's of service to the people, and me, Mandy, myself, takes a back seat. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the difference between the channeling and me doing these trainings. Is channeling, I was putting the ego perspective on the back burner and allowing this channel to come through. And I was listening from like a disassociated
Yeah.
point of view, or there was mass amounts of disassociation, because here I am, Mandy, hovering, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching and listening to this stuff come out of my mouth, and I'm learning.
Mm.
So for those 10
Wow.
years, there was a lot of healing that took place. So for
Yeah.
what it showed me was the quantum leap happened because my nervous system was failing from all the trauma. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about since I was young,
Yeah.
toddler. So I jumped up, and then I got to see this perspective, and then I started pecking away and healing and
Mm.
removing the rubble from my own life. Codependency, forgiving my old actions, forgiving my grievances against other people, adversary, different abuses, sexual abuse, emotional abuse,
Mm-hmm.
physical abuse that I'd endured. It was like I got to look at all that under a microscope in these ceremonies, feeling safe because of the container that was held. These ceremonies aren't so much for being enlightened. I want, for me personally, my experiences, these ceremonies are to go to give a safe space or a container or altar, just like a church, or just like in a monastery, with prayer beads, with mala beads. You can do it any which way, but it's to connect to creation. And from that space, I was able to heal and start scraping away and sifting and sorting through what wasn't true. And turns out I was living a complete lie before that. The things that I thought about myself, the things that I thought about others. And so there was so much healing. And still right now, I talk to my little 5-year-old self, and I'm going, hey,
Mm-hmm.
so about that, the bells and
Yeah.
alarms and whistles are going off. We're going to go ahead and burn some smudge and have a sweat lodge about that.
Yes.
So that's my way of, so it looks like a lot of healing. And through that, me teaching is like my giveaway. When Creator gave me back my life, and I call it Creator, I call it God,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can call it Krishna. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever you want. In Lakota, they say Tunkashala or Wakan Tanka, the great mystery, the sacred
Mm-hmm.
mystery. And I'll say, I'm in service to you.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's why I do what I do on this planet, is to be of service to creation,
Yeah.
because that's where the praise and grace is for me. So I do get high up on Jesus, and I'll be on the lives on social media, or even people tell me
Mm-hmm.
I love Jesus. I met him, and they're all,
Yes.
what? And I'm
What?
going, no, it's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not pretending here, like I love all the masters so much, and for me, the masters
Yeah.
are one.
Yes.
So when we look at the masters as Buddha, Krishna, Tunkashala,
Mm-hmm.
God, Allah, to me, it is a God with many names.
Yeah.
God is just the umbrella And it's unfortunate. No, it's not unfortunate. It's the way it is. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing unfortunate about this. There's no errors here.
Yes.
But I have found in my journeys that when I say the word God, it turns people off
Yeah.
because they are used to a religious God
Mm-hmm.
or a
Mm-hmm.
God that is wrathful or that you have to repent to or that punishes you or that
Yeah.
can send you to hell if you sin. And the God that I speak of is love.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. God
That's
is
it.
love.
Yeah.
That's it. There's God isn't loving.
Mm-hmm.
God is
Is
love.
love. Yeah.
Love
Yes.
is and it's a thing with the English language, right, too, with all these belief systems, constructs, and societal norms and social propaganda that promotes these narratives that people say, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in God. And I
Mm.
go, okay, hold on. You don't believe in that
Yes.
as truth. So dig deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stop. Don't stop
Yes.
digging.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's at this point in the game, I know it's all oneness. I lived it. I've been in it for many years. And for now, my journey is being human,
Mm-hmm.
being Mandy, experiencing life,
Yeah.
experiencing love, experiencing food and sunsets and to the fullest. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't want to be floating around all up in the ethers all the time. You're going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Just be right here.
Yes.
But what I find in mainstream spirituality is people are looking for the bypass because it's uncomfortable to be human and they're uncomfortable in the systems and they're
Mm.
uncomfortable in their body and with their thoughts instead of educating themselves and sitting with themselves
Yes.
and leaning towards not just elders, because not all elders are old people and not
Mm-hmm.
all old
Mm-hmm.
people
Mm-hmm.
are elders,
Right.
but the wisdom keepers, the ones that live it. And I'm like that with the mainstream. I'm just going, please, please, please use spiritual discernment.
Yeah.
If somebody's finances are a mess and their car's a mess and they're always running out of gas and they have chaos around their life, like check yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Check yourself. Because if you really want to go there where there's nowhere to go except for
Mm-hmm.
here, but to be there, it's almost ask the people that you see that carry that peace, that frequency, that vibration, and don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Those are the ones they don't talk about it. And here I am
Mm-hmm.
talking about it and get on TikTok and go, hey.
Well, but there's a difference. There's
Yeah.
a difference, and
Yes.
I see that completely. Um, so when you work with clients, at the shadow work is very uncomfortable. It can be. Depends on how we look at it, right?
Yep.
How do you help people through that?
So shadow work is one of those things that we absolutely, I believe, my
Mm-hmm.
experiences, you don't
Mm-hmm.
do it alone.
Yeah.
Carl
Yeah.
Jung would say that. All the
Mm-hmm.
great masters that have done shadow work and even through clinical psychology of going in, you don't do it unless you have a firm foundation and you're mentally, emotionally, and physically healthy.
Yeah.
That's where I start. So there are people that come to me for shadow work, and I said, no, I can't support that right now. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
you get to feel good.
Yeah.
You already feeling
Yes.
shit.
Yes.
Let's not go digging around in it.
Yes, that's a really good point.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's going, let's feel good because where we go into the root system, then that's going to grow higher, right? But if somebody's already in the root system and they're just
Yeah.
swampy mess, it's going, no, come up for light
Mm-hmm.
and then let's get to it. So I wouldn't say there's a one size fits all. I have
Mm-hmm.
different methods and ideas. I don't do it the way my teacher did to me and just
Mm-hmm.
bleh. I
Yeah.
don't I don't roar the shadow all over you.
Yes.
But and it's not a one-time deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's I when I was studying shadow work before my awakening, I was
Mm-hmm.
in a women's group that we studied shadow work for 3 years.
Mm.
3 years. We met once a month for 3 hours, and we
Wow.
would sit in a closed room for 3 hours, just five of us, and we'd
Yeah.
all bounce it back and forth, and then we'd digest it for a month,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'd come back and do it again. And so for me, I'd say pick one of the masters at shadow work. The Carl Jung is a
Yeah.
perfect one. There are programs out there of his philosophy. I'd say do your research, find a group. And when you commit to doing it, you buckle down. And it's not, I'm going to dig, 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 dig till I get to the bottom. Because guess what? There's no bottom.
There's no bottom. Mm-hmm.
But you can dig a little bit and sift and sort and look and then come up for air. And so for me, it would be, where in life are you being tripped up? If I had a
Yeah.
client, I'd say, okay, what are your speed bumps? Who are the
Yes.
people you don't like in life? What is your internal dialogue and what are you telling yourself? Would you say that to a stranger?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that to your kid? Well, let's unpack that and talk about that and where that comes from.
Mm-hmm.
But there isn't a one size fits all. I think shadow work has become so popular that
Yeah.
people are, I'm doing shadow work, and it's like, here's my spiritual passport, and I'm going, yeah, you should probably come out of that because everybody's
Yes.
tired of watching you suffer.
Mm-hmm. I
So
agree. Um,
it's valuable, though. It's
yeah.
valuable work if you're called to do it and when you're called to do it.
Mm-hmm. And usually when you're in the middle of it, I mean, of course, you have support group or a person helping you through it, a coach, or however someone chooses to do it. But usually, it's something that you don't announce because it's. I mean, you say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're internally just peeling back the onion of all the things and working through that. So usually it's something that, I mean, you don't make it public.
This is something you don't go around and advertise to everyone.
I think that's ego more than anything.
And
The
that's a shadow aspect. Look at what
yes,
I'm doing.
yes,
Look at what I'm doing.
yes,
That's a shadow.
yes. And that's many times it's inviting that, I mean, needing that external validation. And again, that goes into places that need to be looked at and healed. And yeah,
Yeah.
I see that too. And I think that it can be very confusing to people that are just genuinely looking for help and guidance. Like, where do I go from here? And and sometimes they get the wrong idea of how. I mean, and there is no one size fits all, but some people can get misled.
Some people, there's quite a few people being led blindly. But you know what's fascinating is it doesn't matter which way. All roads lead to one.
Yes,
It's
you're
just
absolutely
there is
right.
the easy there I wouldn't say there's the easy, but it has been done enough times. We don't need to reinvent the wheel,
Yes,
right? So it's like,
yes.
talk to someone and say, have you done shadow work? What worked for you? And
Mm-hmm.
really have contemplation and prayerful or meditation about how and when and who you're going to go through that with. And
Yes,
like everything in life, you get what you give. So it depends on your integrity and humility going into it that you're even going to get out of it. Because I know a lot of people that
yes.
spat off about their shadow work and all the ayahuasca they've eaten and all the demons they've slayed,
Mm-hmm.
and they're
Mm-hmm.
still a hot mess.
Yep. I know.
And I'm like, now what?
Yeah.
Did you pay your water bill? I mean, that's the extreme, and
Yes.
that's the
Yeah.
coyote way too. Is
Mm-hmm.
I want to make that clear. Is the coyote way is it's I'm not making fun of the sacred. I'm making fun of the
Yeah.
sacred. Like,
Yeah.
the sacred it's not to be so serious, but that's not everybody's gig. And
Yeah.
so some people that are disruptors and misfits and like to disrupt people, I've said this once, I'll say it again. I've said it so many times, is a misfit or a disruptor without a cause, a rebel without a cause, is just an asshole. Let's stop being
You're right about
assholes.
that. Mhm.
because some people will disrupt to make people uncomfortable because it makes
Yeah.
them feel safe to disarm people
Yes.
and make them uncomfortable. And that is what I used to do.
Mhm.
And that's how I recognize it. I'm not sitting here. This does not come from a place of judgment. That I speak about is stuff that I look
Yeah.
back now and go, oh, wow. So the people that have taught me and the people that are like me or similar to me or see me would say, you are here for harmony.
Yeah.
When people are stuck and they're not moving or they're taking it all too serious, that's when your joke and disruption will, like, it's like unjamming the signal.
Yeah.
And that is spirit driven. That isn't ego driven, and it is not impulsive.
Mhm.
And I was actually taught to walk straight and not be a disruptor for
Mhm.
7 years. That was my discipline, to not be a disruptor,
Yeah.
so that I could feel what that harmony was and what. But the training that I've had and what I do, especially at my age, is uncommon. It just
Mhm.
is. And it's not that I'm special. It's just, I don't, for whatever reason, I came here and was like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I haven't met another one like, well, I've met a couple along my walk that are similar, but
What do you find that people have the most difficult time with? Where do people get stuck?
the story.
Hmm.
That's the first thing that came to mind. There's many
Mhm.
aspects, but I would say the big mass majority is the story. The attachment to the story of, this is where I came from, this is what happened to me, this is
Mm.
where my family's from, this is my culture, this is my pronoun,
Yes.
this is my religion, this is what I believe. They aren't willing to just put the story down for a
Yeah.
moment and say, who am I without this story? And right now, the stories are getting so elaborate. It's such an
Yeah.
exciting time to be alive because people are grasping on this identity that means something to them,
Yeah.
that makes them somebody. And I'm going, that's beautiful, because you have to be somebody before you're nobody, like
Yeah.
Ram Dass
Mm.
says. Like, go
Good
ahead,
point.
be somebody, be the most special somebody you can. So when it all just shrivels away, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what's happening right now, is people are getting wrung
Yes.
out. But if there's one thing, it's people are attached to the story and their identity. It's
Is completely engulfed in that story.
wild. Oh, it is. What group, social group you're, what do you advocate for? What are you resistant to? Are you an activist? What diet do you have? I mean,
Mhm.
people, I mean, it's just like people have to advertise what they eat.
Yeah. Yes.
You know,
Very good
I'm
point.
going.
Yes. Here.
If you're vegetarian, if you're carnivore, if you're vegan, oh, don't
Yeah.
worry. If somebody has a strict diet, they'll tell you. You don't have to ask anybody, you know? And it's like, my teacher told me one time, he said, every spiritual master was once vegetarian until he realized he was the meat too.
Okay, explain that more.
We're all the same stuff.
Mm. Oh, I see.
Now, that's a
Yes.
very far out perspective.
But I see.
But when one fully receives and accepts the karma of the curriculum of what is
Mm.
exactly as it is, and it's one thing. You know, I had this autistic kid in my class once,
Mm-hmm.
and he'd come and he'd ask the best questions. I don't get behind diagnoses, but he'd straight up outright say that he's autistic. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he let everybody know, because that way it was like his free pass to offend people is what I think it was. You know? I was like, great, everybody knows you're autistic. Say whatever you want,
Yeah.
which I love, right?
Yeah, I was about to say I love that.
Yes. So I could tell when he had something to say because I'd be channeling, and there's a big arc of people, and or
Mm-hmm.
small arc, whatever it was, and there's an arc of people, and when I'd start talking about something, he'd go, and I'd go ahead, you can talk.
Yeah.
And he'd go, he said, so basically what you're saying is we are source energy experiencing itself subjectively. And I go, yes. Okay, class
Yes.
dismissed. Everybody got that?
That was
Go ahead and
it.
chew on that for the rest of your life,
I
because
know.
that's it. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
else. Mic drop. Here, buddy, you come sit in my chair. And it's simple, right? But then we have podcasts like this and we're on social media because it fuels it. It's fun to interact. It's fun
Yes.
to
Mm-hmm.
play in the conversation of ideas and expansion. But what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's a type of connection or
Yeah.
communion. If and it's like that in any belief system, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what the religion or the idea. But if we could all just look and recognize to each other
Yes.
that we're all one people.
We are. I know.
We all love our children with that same capacity.
Yes.
Like, you can't uncreate that. And but I've prayed so many times. I'm like, is this the Utopia Project? Like, let me know. Like, is world peace a thing?
Yeah.
And it said, your world and your peace is a thing.
Mm.
And people have asked me about that, do you believe in world peace? And I said, it's an interesting question. So it makes me curious. Do
Mm-hmm.
I believe in world peace? Well, I am at peace with the world.
Yeah.
Do I think that everything is the way that I would put it in a perfect little picture? No. I want everyone to
Right.
heal. I want
Yeah.
everyone to love everyone.
Yes.
The one thing that I'm attached to, the story I'm attached to, that I cry and get upset about it, is I'll say, why can't everybody love everybody?
No.
And I'm just like, forgive them,
I
forgive
know.
them. Like,
Yes.
it's fine,
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not the way of the world. It's just not that
No,
way.
it's not. One beautiful thing that I've learned on this journey is that, and before I did not see it this way, and but I have the capacity. Now I'm not always 100% at it, to be very transparent, but I have the capacity to look at someone and see their story and hold space for that. I mean, if they are not the nicest person, or if they are going through very hard challenges, addicts. I mean, and I've brought up like homeless before. I can see their story and I see them. Well, first, I know that we are all one and we all have different experiences, and that's why we're here. But you can see the trauma and what has put them in this state, and the love and compassion that I can hold for people now is absolutely beautiful. Like, I'm so very
Yeah.
grateful to be able to see it this way now. And now, do some personalities trigger me sometimes? Absolutely they do. It drives me crazy sometimes. But and it's mainly people that are treating others badly and things like that. But again, that comes from somewhere. That comes from conditioning and trauma and all the stuff. And just the subconscious is running the show, and we're very unaware of our actions, and people are in victim mindset. But I can see that now, and I can hold space for that, and I love it. Before I couldn't do that.
That's beautiful.
And it's just,
That's who I like to work with, because you can hold space and I can push everybody's buttons,
yes.
and then they can have an unraveling,
And I can hold
and you
space.
can just say you're safe, because a space
Yes.
holder, that's seriously who I work
Yeah.
with when I channel in front of people. I have
Yeah.
not I have to, but I choose to, and I've learned enough on my journey that a space holder is it's a game changer.
Yeah.
If I'm channeling and I have an anchor, or even if whatever it is that I do, if I have an anchor, here I have my anchor, and this is my space holder right here. I have this
Mm-hmm.
little candle,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going, okay, you're holding space for me? Okay, good. But when people are healing, that's what they need, is just to be seen and witnessed.
Yes.
So many
Yes.
times things have to be witnessed. And I think this is part of, I'm just going to fly off the rail here and say, this is what I have seen in different races and religions and
Mm-hmm.
cultures. is that it hasn't even had the space to breathe,
Mm.
to acknowledge and validate, and just to grieve together.
Yes.
It's no blame, no shame.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ought to be carrying shame for anything, and nobody ought to be feeling the blame. It was you that did this. It's you and me, or us and them,
Yes.
because the us and them aren't, that's illusionary. That's
Mm-hmm.
the reality of duality. That's contrast. That's duality. And if
Yeah.
we ever
Yeah.
want to see each other and experience connection from a oneness state of mind, even as individuals, but to feel that real namaste, the
Mm-hmm.
namaste of where you and I dissolve, and here we are, and we're just
Yes.
looking at the same fireplace, as the elders would say.
Mm-hmm.
We're just here
Mm-hmm.
looking at the same fireplace. But I feel like so oftentimes there isn't the space because people override it. And it's this big thing with grief, because someone starts crying or talking about their grief, and someone will go, you're just going to have to forgive him, or they're in a
Yeah.
better place, or when are you going to let that go? And it's almost like, no, just stop.
Yeah.
Just be with
Just
someone,
let them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because that, they say suffering is grace. That
Yeah.
is, can you sit and watch someone suffer or
Yeah.
celebrate?
Yeah.
Both, without trying to be a part of their experience and their
Yes.
unraveling. Just so that's a
Yes.
huge gift. I love
Mm-hmm.
when I channel, I have someone with that gift, so
Mm-hmm.
that when something happens, I'll stop talking and go, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just wait,
Yeah.
so somebody can witness them without judgment, without trying to fix it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
beautiful. Thank you. I'm sure that you share that in the world, and I hope that you do. And whether it be in your work or your family or strangers.
So when someone is interested in spirituality, or they're kind of in the beginning of all of this and trying to unravel everything, where do they start? And then where do they go from here?
It's only if everyone would be brave enough to ask that question.
Yeah.
So many people want to, oh, I know, I know, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
know, I know. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I use references. Anyone who's heard me speak will hear about the going into the hotel lobby,
Mm-hmm.
or as Alan Watts talks about, flirting with spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's kind of like just sitting on the edge of the pool and just putting your feet in, and then just no need
Yeah.
to change into a bathing suit. You don't need a towel. You
Mm-hmm.
don't need to prepare yourself. You're just flirting with it. And people will ride that wave because.
Yeah. It's
And it's
uncomfortable not
easy.
to, I mean, it gets uncomfortable.
Yes, it is
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable. So I would say, if someone is getting on a spiritual journey or want to climb up the ladder,
Mm-hmm.
as I have a devotion, and when I say devotion, like I devote my time, my energy, my spiritual attention
Mm-hmm.
to hear in a certain culture or modality or idea, and that's this red road. So there are people that don't want to hear this. And again, with the Western society, they don't want to be part of a religion, baptized, or be put in a group of Christians, Buddhists, and I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard this, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. And I was like, but religion is a container where you can grow spiritually. And it's not just religion, it's any kind of culture, or, the Course in Miracles is golden,
Mm-hmm.
but like buckle down and study something. If it's
Yeah.
yoga, give 100% of your attention to yoga. Don't flirt with yoga. Go
Mm.
study yoga. Now, are there risks? There are risks in psychedelics. There are risks in going to ceremonies.
Yeah.
There are risks in going to Christian church. There are risks in Kundalini yoga. There's
Mm-hmm.
risks in breathwork. There are risks in everything. But there are so many times that people say, I don't want anything to do with that because that person hurt me once, or that church hurt me, or this thing hurt me. And I heard this pastor say one time, it was so wonderful. He said, it doesn't matter where you go, you're going to get hurt by someone.
Hmm.
But it's kind of like getting food poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
eventually you gotta eat.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point.
So you get food poisoning, you're like, I'm not gonna eat
Yeah.
there again. But
Mm-hmm.
eventually you gotta eat.
Yeah.
So it's what is the practice? Because right now I remember there was a roadman that I sat with, and he's such a beautiful man. I only speak of him because he's on the other side. I don't speak of many of my teachers because they're here, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
I just like to keep energy nice and clean and
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
but they
Yes.
with thought forms and those kind of things, and that goes
Mm-hmm.
into quantum theory and being way blown out where I'm like everything's connected, we're just going to keep this really simple. And he said there's a lot of spiritual tourists. There are
Mm.
tourists that will go and they'll try this one thing one time, and then they'll go around and talk about it for years and years and years of how they did that until it doesn't work anymore. So he would say there's spiritual tourism, and people are wanting the quick fix or this quick path to enlightenment or spiritual, and it's never been like that, and it's
Yeah.
not. And people are on this enlightenment path, or I'm awakened, and it's going, now where's your practice? Because
Mm-hmm.
unless your life looks spiritual in every aspect of your life, spiritual, right? Because
Yeah.
everything's spiritual. Unless your entire life is a reflection of that love, of that awakening, of that truth. That means your bills, your car, your house, your
Mm-hmm.
relationships, your relationship with your mom, your relationship with God, your relationship with even the religion you detest. Until you can look at that from love,
Mm-hmm.
I call bullshit.
Yeah.
So there's people that go around and they judge each other and they say that. So I would say if somebody wants to climb that ladder and do that work, find a devotion, find something you love. I have told people, I said, if you don't have an altar, pick something you love, a picture of a person that you love, and
Mm-hmm.
just start there. Put a picture of someone you love in a special frame on a desk with a doily.
Yeah.
And that is the
Yeah.
devotion. Because love is what opens the gate. It isn't the worship. It isn't the thing that gives it power. It's the love of the
Mm-hmm.
thing. If you love Krishna, if you love Shiva, if you love Buddha, but you can't be Buddhist and study Buddhism and feel
Yeah.
spiritual unless you love it.
Yeah.
You
That's
have to fall
right.
in love with the teachings. You have to fall in love with it. So pick a way.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter which of the masters it is. It's pick a way and just stop with the flirting, get in bed with it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Serious. Like, get in bed with it. Stop the flirting. Like, commit yourself to
Mm-hmm.
learning a deeper understanding. Oh, I don't believe in the Bible. Really? Have you read it? Have you studied
Mm-hmm.
it? You don't believe in it? Oh, you don't believe the other person's interpretation of what they said about the Bible?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know? It's it's so fascinating. Quantum theory. You want to study science? Study science until you turn out to be a mystic. You can go
Yeah.
so far down the science and physics hole that you will come out the other
Yes.
side as a mystic. It doesn't matter, but devote yourself.
Yeah.
And that takes discipline, and it's an everyday thing.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't on Sundays or on the weekend or Saturday morning drum circle.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's an everyday devotion to serve, to serve
Yeah.
it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I'm at. Is I just tell people, I'm like, pick a path. I don't give a shit what
It
path it
it
is.
doesn't
Pick
matter
a
what path
path.
it is.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then walk it.
Yeah.
And then walk it. So it's interesting because in around Native Way, there's a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
Around Native Way, it isn't. It's fascinating with social media and natives getting a voice back. I'm really happy about that, and they're
Mm-hmm.
starting to share their songs. They're starting to come out and talk about their teachings. I am so grateful because 15 years ago it wasn't that, and I can't tell you the amount of pushback and ridicule and things I've even had on
Mm.
social media when I talk about that. And I said, you know what? There are 4 colors on the medicine wheel. There are four, like there are 4 colors of people.
Yeah.
And there are teachings about that. And dare I say, the Native Way has a lot of ego and a lot of generational wounding. That
Mm-hmm.
genocide was just a couple people ago. Every culture has something to heal. But the
Mm-hmm.
wounding of whatever it is, or the genocide, or the exclusion or the judgments or the sin or the, it's like, it's beyond that. It's
Yeah.
beyond that. And so the Red Road and Native Way, it's rough. I've been on the
Yeah.
res. I've been in places that weren't very safe. I've watched the generational wounding and the healing that's taken place. I've seen miracles. I have
Mm-hmm.
grieved. I have sat with a native elder and said, maybe one time, he said, I'm on to creator. He said, I'm camped at this reservation, at this place on the reservation, right by the creek where they carried Crazy Horse, right outside of Wounded Knee. I mean, this
Mm-hmm.
place is like a third world country. This isn't
Right.
like, oh, I'm going to the ceremony. And
Yeah.
this elder man sat next to me and he goes, I'm on to you. I'm on to creator. I'm on to creator. And I said, oh, yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
he goes, yeah. He goes, maybe one lifetime I was a white girl like you and got on a boat. And I was like, oh,
Wow.
buddy, here's a native man who's raised on the red. The education up there is not great. I don't know the resources they have. They don't have Wi-Fi and they don't even have a signal
Yeah.
to Google. And he's talking about reincarnation, telling me I've been
Yeah.
praying, I'm on to creator. And here I
Mm-hmm.
am going, wow. And then there's just, you got to read between the lines. So pick a path and a devotion. Dr. Seuss. If you picked up Dr. Seuss every day and studied Dr. Seuss, you'd eventually find Zen. But you got to sit still.
That's a problem in today's society, huh?
Oh, buddy. I'm like, oh my gosh, when I was a kid, I remember that saying right there, sit still. And it was like,
Yeah.
can I breathe? Like it was even breathing
Yeah.
like Michelle. Now I'm not saying that's the way it should be, but
Yeah.
you know that there is a reason. There's some indigenous ceremonies that aren't open to white people, or they're just barely starting to open them to white
Mm-hmm.
or other people. And it's not just because they're not willing to share, but because the discipline isn't there. There are
Mm.
people that would say, you sit how long? Or even kirtan or a Vipassana retreat. How many people can go 10 days and not talk?
Right. Not many. Right now.
And how many people can go 10 days and not talk that are from Western society and then go home from the Vipassana retreat and tell everybody that they did it?
Oh, what a good point. You have a point there.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's a different kind of thing to be able to sit, but it takes time and it takes practice, and the practice has come with me over time, but for whatever reason I shot up and I've worked my way down. But in
Mm-hmm.
that shooting up and far out, I can assure people we're here to be human. You
Yeah.
always come down. There's no quick path to enlightenment. You go up and then you got to come down. Even this
Yeah.
conversation, people may be listening and they feel kind of high and the truth makes you
Mm-hmm.
high. And they're like, wow, this is... and then you got to come down.
Yeah. You do.
But can you be as happy in the high and as accepting and in love in the high as you can in the coming down of it?
Yeah.
And it's like, how many people can sit in their shadow and be like, oh, I love you. Like for real, have
That
that kind of
was,
compassion for themselves.
yes. That
That's
was a
next level.
difficult time in my journey. And like you said earlier, I know nothing, right? The more we learn or the more we, come enlightened to, the more we don't know. But I can remember in the beginning when things were just unraveling and I was on such a high and I started seeing things in a different light. And I stayed that way for a while and I'm like, my gosh, this is amazing. Like awakening is great. And then it was time for the shadow work or like the beginning, right? I didn't even know what shadow work was, period. But I was like, I woke up and I was like, holy shit, like what just happened? I feel horrible now. But I just came down and I mean like things were coming up and anyway, and I had been on a journey learning energy healing and all this stuff, and I was like doing sessions but you make such a good point you have to learn how to feel that way and the when you come back down too, because it's all part of the journey.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, that is amazing. Um, so you talk about sitting still. And for the most part, when we think about that here, it's meditation, right? And I find, and even myself, like sometimes I have a hard time sitting still or getting my, mind to just be in the present. Do you meditate?
It's a great question. So I would say a meditation in the marketplace looks different than meditation in a retreat center or
Yeah.
in a monastery. So meditation is an observation of the thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just observing without attaching to it.
Yes.
So as far as the sitting still, what I'm talking about is even sitting with
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. Even it's just, can you sit with yourself? When I say sitting
Yeah.
still, it's not sitting like a statue.
Right.
It's, can you sit comfortably and be so comfortable sitting with yourself without the doing?
Yes. Yes.
But if that's too far a reach for people, because life's fast, life's moving
Mm-hmm.
pretty fast now. I would say this. I would say practice doing what you're doing, and that's it. Like, be in the being while you're doing. Let me explain.
Yeah.
When you're vacuuming, practice only vacuuming. Let the mind
Mm-hmm.
focus on the vacuuming. If you're doing
Yes.
dishes, only do the dishes. Don't, it's about practicing coming
Yes.
off of autopilot. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is we're on autopilot, and the nervous system and dopamine receptors and everything else, because we're in a body, see, so we're mind, body, spirit. There
Yeah.
are people in ceremony that I have heard say, I can't do this, I'm not spiritual enough. And I'm like, oh no, you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is what it looks like for you.
Mm-hmm.
So there isn't a spiritual enough. It's a practice of presence. So
Yeah.
can you be present in what it is that you're doing and remain in a state of being where when a thought comes in, you just come back to the breath? Doesn't
Yes.
matter if you're doing stuff, move around if you want. You don't even have to sit without moving. Just whatever you're doing, just do that.
Yeah.
Just be that. That would be a great practice for people, because how many people are driving and they aren't even driving? How many people drive home from work and you don't even remember the drive home from
They're on
work?
autopilot. You're right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So how do you become present? Make yourself just a little bit uncomfortable. So here's what it could be. It could be, don't listen to music on your way home.
Mm-hmm.
Take a different route to work.
Mm-hmm.
Use a different toothpaste in the morning, and when you brush your teeth, really brush your teeth.
Yeah.
Do something with your left hand. So it just requires a little bit more focus. I talk about this often. One of the greatest teachings I've ever received is that, I don't want to say ever, but I'm saying like this landed home for me, that was so profound, was the ritual is for this. It requires sometimes a ritual to get to the ceremony.
Yeah.
And so the ritual of sitting in meditation, the ritual of having a fire, writing in a journal, that's the ritual. But the purpose of the ritual is to tie up the mind, give
Mm.
it something to do, make it busy, give it focus,
Mm-hmm.
so that it can drop into a deeper state of being.
Yeah.
So, I mean, start somewhere. You don't have to say, I'm getting ready for that. So many people
Yeah.
say, oh, I got to get
Mm-hmm.
cleaned up before I go to lodge. And I go, no, that's why we go to lodge.
Yes.
So they say, I'm a mess, I can't go to church. And I go, that's why we go to church.
Yeah.
Go there and come
Mm-hmm.
undone. Because I have gone, at least the churches that I've been to are non-denominational, or other
Mm-hmm.
churches that are religious, from Mormon to Catholic, Protestant. I've been to all kinds
Mm-hmm.
of churches. I've been in kirtan. When somebody flips out, if they have a complete cathartic experience and start crying, that's the place you want to do it.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
people will pray for you, or they will stand by. No one's going to try and save you there. People are going to know that the spirit got a hold of you.
Mm-hmm.
And there might be one codependent or 10
Yeah.
in there. That's running rapid now too. Like, oh my gosh, I need to help them. I need to help
Yes.
them. I'm like, no, let them die already.
Yeah.
because then that is wailing inside them will die. It will surely die.
Yes.
And when they're done dying, they'll go,
Mm-hmm.
oh, wow, what was that?
Yes.
So it really is like find a ritual, even if the ritual is doing dishes. You
Yeah.
know, one of my most recent rituals that I did this last couple years was cleaning toilets. So I used
Mm-hmm.
to renovate houses. That used
Mm-hmm.
to be my job. And because I don't do, it would be really, really cool. I keep telling creator, it'd be really cool to
Mm-hmm.
make a living, to be able to pay my
Mm-hmm.
bills in some monetary exchange, like write a book or go get millions of followers on TikTok and YouTube and have podcasts, whatever. That has not been my journey. My journey has been very linear
Yeah.
and superhuman. So back before the real estate market was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was more awesome because people could actually buy a home,
Yes.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, when the people say the real estate market's so good, and I'm just like, or if they say, oh, it's so high, I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
I would pick up foreclosures. This is back, I mean, I was young and I was
Mm-hmm.
just a one-man band.
Mm-hmm.
And we started it in the marriage. And then when me and my husband divorced, I said, you know what? I'm going to keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd pick up houses and then I'd go in and clean them up. And these are houses that haven't been taken care of. Meth houses,
Mm-hmm.
foreclosures, angry houses, houses that have been neglected. And I go in there and I pray. I paint and I
Mm.
pray. I clean and I pray. And there's something about cleaning a toilet that's not yours on your hands and knees.
Yes.
Can you do that and find
Yes.
God in it? So the last time I did it, I kneeled down and I go, okay, this is the altar. I mean, this is the
Mm-hmm.
kind of practices I have. Is I
Yeah.
go in the most uncomfortable, ew, like I don't want to touch that. I
Mm-hmm.
go into those moments where other Mandy would have said that, and I say, okay, here's the altar. How can I clean this toilet of other people's everything on it
Yeah.
and be grateful?
Yeah.
So when I tell
I
people
love
start
that.
somewhere, so many people, even now I'm going through this with my family and some of the remnants of people that knew me as before. You know, they talk
Mm-hmm.
about Jesus didn't perform miracles in his hometown. Ram Dass would go to home and his dad would say, are you still doing that
Mm.
rum dum thing or do you got a real job?
Oh wow. Yeah.
I mean, it's this way. So it's kind of
Yeah.
trippy that people call me or make a one-on-one session or appointment or come track me down and we work together because hurt people, but healed people heal people. And so I have it in me to sit on the toilet or sit in people's shit show, other people's shit, and go, I love you. You're doing great. And my family sees me as self righteous. Not all of them, but a majority.
Yeah.
There's a couple in my family that see me and they call me and they watch my content and they
Mm-hmm.
call me and
Mm-hmm.
they'll say, hey, what's going on here? And I do have a couple of my family, but the mass majority of family and people that knew me before my awakening still see me as the woman before my awakening
Yes.
and the rebellious
Yes.
teenager and the one that was working in the bars and that was drinking tequila on the weekends, that
Mm-hmm.
was doing all, sex, drugs, and rock and
Yes.
roll.
Mm-hmm.
Because my reputation is not squeaky clean. In fact, it's not squeaky anything. It's like, I'm like, well, we'll see, like I don't have a sex tape out there, but there's probably some other things that might surface if I look, they'll go, this one, look, you
Yes.
know? And is it
Hmm.
okay? Am I prepared to have it all aired out?
Yeah.
And the truth is I passed that point a couple years
Yeah.
ago where I'm just
And that's
like, you
part of
know
the
what?
journey. Yeah.
I don't have any secrets.
Yeah.
I don't advertise.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm an open book, and to just see my family and they see me as self-righteous, or
Yeah.
she thinks she's so right, she thinks she knows everything, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that sounds like me. And that's what I say. I just smile and I
Yeah.
go, yeah, that sounds like
Mm-hmm.
me. I just agree with them. If you can't
Yes.
what do they say, if you can't beat them, join them, or something? What's that one
Absolutely.
saying?
Yes. Yes. If you can't beat them,
That's
join
how
them.
I kind of feel that way. Is like, I'm not here to be right, so I'll just agree with you.
Yeah.
let's make up a great ending to the story. So
Yes.
yeah, that's been probably the biggest crux for me in the last couple of years as far as on my
Mm-hmm.
heartstrings is grieving and letting go, because I want to connect with that part of my family. I like,
Mm-hmm.
if I still have those attachments, see, so that's the story, is that they're family.
Yeah.
That's the story that I'm attached to, that I'm going, just let me love you. And we love each other. We do. We love
Yeah.
each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super unhealthy. Trauma bonding at its
Yeah.
finest. I need you to be this
Yes.
character so I can feel better about myself.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's a wonderful place to be and a tough place to be sometimes, where
Mm-hmm.
I just say, I just got to let go. And
Yeah.
they're great teachers of mine, and I love my family dearly, but I'm the
Mm-hmm.
self-righteous spiritual one. I did ask one family member one time, she was going through a hard time. I go, can I pray for you? She goes, no,
No,
please,
no. I
please
don't need
don't.
your
And I was
prayers.
like, okay.
Okay.
I won't.
Sorry. Um, yeah, and I find that very common in, I mean, with the people that I talk with is they're like people from past or their families, they do have a hard time accepting who they are now. It's a teacher, like you said. It can be it's challenging and it's difficult
Mhm.
and hurtful in ways depending on how we process it, but I do find that very common.
Yeah. Acceptance is key. That's
Yeah.
where I'm at right now, is
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter which side of, I mean, there's sides, right? No, there's
Yeah.
not, but it doesn't matter which
Right.
side of the thinking or the fireplace we're on. Acceptance goes both ways. And that's where I've been like, but I want you to come with me. Will you please
Yeah.
want to see me? Will you please ask me what I meant by that, instead of get offended and then create
Yes.
distance and drama? If you don't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, just ask. This
Just
is simple
ask.
communication. And
Yeah.
uh, one of my master teachers was reading this book, says the art of good communication, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Don't quote me on that, but the there's something about the art of communication, or the art of
Mm-hmm.
great communication. And he was saying that through social media and through cell phones and texting and things like this, that the art of communicating is connecting. And
Yeah.
so it's not that we're disconnected, it's that we're not communicating. Because when we communicate with presence,
Mm-hmm.
and I find that that's what it is it's just lack of communication. Anytime there isn't acceptance or
Absolutely.
resolution. I did have one friend one time. I remember we were on our way home. It was one of my lovely nights out at the bar. And I was having a moment from channeling in the bathroom or something of
Mm-hmm.
sorts, right? And I was so just, there were often times I wasn't a big drinker. I just go to the bar and be the
Yeah.
DD and dance and have a good time. And we're on our way back, and I am livid for whatever reason. And I can't even remember what the reason was, and it doesn't matter. But what
Mm-hmm.
happened was, my dear friend at the time, she said, can you explain to me what's happening with you right now? Because I'm judging you and it hurts me.
Oh, wow.
So make me understand. Help me understand. Please just tell me what you're doing right now and what you're going through, because help me understand, because the judgment I'm having for you is hurting me.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, damn.
What a great
Like,
way to communicate. Now that's
that's
communication.
so wild. I'm judging you right now. Can you help me
Yeah.
understand? Now,
Yeah.
can a person hear without taking personal, you're judging me? Because I could have been like, oh my gosh, you're judging me. I was like,
Exactly.
yes, I will for sure explain myself. What are you
Yes.
confused about? And I'm crying. And she
Mm-hmm.
just started asking me questions, and I started answering them. She goes, thank you. Now I can feel compassion.
Oh,
And I was like,
wow.
oh, that's a way.
Yeah.
I have
We
so many
all
great
need to learn how to
teachers.
communicate that way.
I
That's
mean, we could,
huge.
but so many
I
people like to just fight. There's
know
because
they
it's the
do.
fight within themselves, right? We're all just
Yes.
talking to ourselves. So
It's a
they don't even
mirror.
like to fight us. They're just fighting within themselves. And I'm
Yes.
like, oh my gosh, here you are shadowboxing. You think it's me, but just kidding, it's
It's
you.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've learned too. And it makes it easier to like navigate through situations like that because you do realize they're really fighting with themselves and the inner
Yeah.
turmoil. And it's really not the person standing in front of them or what they
Yeah.
think happened. So, yeah.
I did that too. Lots of years.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
You hurt me, you abused
Oh,
me, you betrayed me,
yes.
you lied to me, you cheated on me. And then at the end of it, when I
Yeah.
had that awakening, the awakening I told you when I had a quantum leap and I woke up, I seriously was like this. This is no joke. I'm looking around and I'm watching the trees talk to each other and I'm watching the energy go from the trees to the people to
Mm-hmm.
the thing. And I'm watching it all connected. And then I'm aware in this pure, beautiful consciousness of oneness, realizing that I am creating in creation with creator that is creation, that is me. And I started laughing. And that's when the coyote woke up. Because there
Yeah.
was a coyote before, but the coyote woke up and just started laughing. And I was like, this is so crazy. I
Yes.
created this.
It
What
was
a
me the whole time.
drama. I'm so silly. And I just started laughing.
Yes.
And people really had thought I lost my mind too.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wow, like even these experience with these adversaries, this was and I don't like
Yes.
to get too woo woo new agey about it. Like we had a
Mm-hmm.
contract and this is a karmic contract
Mm-hmm.
and I'm dealing with this and I'm going to get a spiritual divorce. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yes.
good luck with that.
Yeah.
I hear the
Mm-hmm.
wait time is eternity, but whatever.
But hey, who's counting?
But that was the realization is just like, whoa,
Yeah.
all of this I made
Yep.
up here. I made it all up here. Now
Mm-hmm.
things happened and I was hurt physically. I experienced physical pain,
Mm-hmm.
right? I've experienced physical pain. I've
Yeah.
experienced a nervous system or trauma, shock
Yeah.
in
Mm-hmm.
the body. And that happened, but the story about it all,
Yes.
I created that. I was the
Yes.
director and the producer and the actor.
Yes. And we were in
And
control
that's
the
some
whole time. Mm-hmm.
and just it's just
Yeah.
hide and go seek with ourselves. And I love talking and getting so far out about it. And then, even after we get off this podcast, I tell people oftentimes when we're in a session or if I'm online, I say, let's ground out, like come
Yeah.
back to the body.
Yeah.
It's fun to ride the high, but if you can take it from the high, one thing that I've learned, a pro tip to people that are just getting high,
Mm-hmm.
is land with that awareness and see how in your humanness you can get and see if you can
Yeah.
walk to the toilet with the scrub brush yet. Not the not
Mm-hmm.
the not the one on the handle. Like the little green scrubbies. You get
Yeah.
your hands, fingernails right up under there.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go there high
Yeah.
and not disassociate and not crash land, not come back down? And so even when we get done here, and as much as I love talking about it, so I'm going, okay, now I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna go eat and I'm going to breathe and I'm going to go, oh, okay, come back to the body, come back
Yes.
to the body so that my body can acclimate to hold my spirit.
Yeah. That's so
So
beautiful.
it's like
Yes.
that, my journey now. But man, it took me a while to get here where I am. There's no quick route. You
There's no
think you
quick route.
go and have a big dissolution of the ego experience and eat a whole bunch of mushrooms or psilocybin or
Mm-hmm.
10 strip of acid. But then when you come down, it takes you 10 years to integrate. And if you just
Yeah.
meditated for 10 years doing your dishes, you'd be in the same
Look at
position,
that.
you know?
Exactly. I know.
So you have a quick trip to hell and around and back and take 10 years to integrate, or you can just
Just
start and be
meditate.
gentle with yourself and pay your bills,
Yes.
make friends, and serve in your
Yeah.
community and just enjoy the
Yeah.
journey because that is the destination. The journey is
Yes.
the destination. The journey's
Yes.
it. That's the whole trip. The whole
Yeah.
trip is the journey. It's not
Exactly.
getting somewhere.
Because once you, and I tell my kids the same thing, and I had to learn this on my own too, is, I mean, once you get to the destination, then what? Like,
Right.
don't, don't just focus on the destination and and um not enjoy the journey because the journey is what it's about.
Yep,
Yeah.
it is.
So, Mandy, if there was one thing that you could tell people on this spiritual journey, whether it be in the beginning or the middle, or what advice would you give them? What would you say?
I would say your spiritual journey started with your first breath, and it will come to a close with your last exhale. Regardless if you go through changes where you feel like you're not on the path and you're not on the track, if that's parenting, if it's school,
Hmm.
if it's grief, if something happens and rattles and you feel like I'm off the track, or I used to have a spiritual practice, or before I was spiritual, I would say drop that story, drop that idea, drop that concept that this is a miraculous, divine creation that is beyond words. It's ineffable. Spirituality is not outside of us, it's inside of us. It's everywhere, everything, all the time, whether we are aware and conscious of it or not. There's nothing that we can do to speed up or slow down. We came here with a curriculum and it is playing out. And I don't understand how it works, but it is that.
Yeah.
The idea of wanting to get somewhere or be past something or heal. There are people that are here that are masters that are being dealt with a really heavy curriculum this time around.
Mm.
And we're all in it to be reflections of the one. And every aspect is as equally as spiritual as all the other aspects. And it's fun, like I said, to get together, to have these conversations, to go far out and to talk about all the concepts and the places I've been and the journeys and the astral projections and the sacred geometry and the medicines and the ceremonies. Those teachers, those elders, the ones, the masters that I've talked to said, this is the ceremony every day. Life is the
Mm-hmm.
ceremony. We are practicing. When we come together and focus our minds and have one idea about something, when we have one ritual or one practice, we become more present and we can experience closer to the divine. But we're always connected and the divine is always present. It's just attuning to that, not the concept, but the idea, the living idea, the living, breathing consciousness that is everything experiencing all the time, everywhere. So let's not take any of it too serious in comparison or judgment, or um, be gentle with yourself, I would say, in your spiritual journey. If you have a spiritual practice and you are on the spiritual journey, just to say in linear terms, if you're a human, you're saying, this is my spiritual practice, I'd say, don't take it so serious. Practice. And like one of the greatest masters of love that I know, he said, be like the children. And it's having fun, it's enjoying, it's with integrity, with humility, with honor, with respect, self-respect. And self-respect means we have respect for others, of not stepping on another man's altar. And I don't mean man, and I don't mean the altar, I mean the belief system, the culture, the whatever it is. Don't Let's stop stepping over each other
Yeah.
and keep your eyes on your own paper. You do your work and let them do theirs. That
Yeah.
is something that has come through so prominently so much this last year. This is the time. The time is now. We are on this line, on this precipice of who knows what, because nobody gets to
Mm-hmm.
know. And while we're here, you know, be concerned with yourself and what you can do to refine your character, your identity, your practice, your kindness, your love,
Mm-hmm.
your everything. This world, the door that opens inward, is where we meet in the center. It isn't
Yeah.
over there, it isn't out there. It's always been here. And so when we just stop taking it so serious and fall in love. Keep on going, and pick a practice, pick a devotion. Like I said, if you don't want to pick a something, put a picture up of the your favorite person
Yeah.
or your favorite place.
That's hmm that's beautiful.
Start there.
That is beautiful.
And
Thank you so much. Hmm.
thank you. I really appreciate you having me visit with you on here.
Yes. So tell everybody how they can get in touch with you and find you.
Okay. So meet me in the dream time. Just kidding. My dream time is closed. So let's not meet in the dream time. Uh, unless this whole life is a dream, then in that case, I'll see you around.
Yes.
So I would say spiritualevolution101.com
Mm-hmm.
is a landing page. And in every social media or every platform I'm on, it's
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual Evolution 101.
Okay.
And I'm known as Cosmic Coyote with the K just because the C was
Mm-hmm.
taken. People are like, what's with the K? I'm like, the C was taken. Cosmic Coyote. On Spiritual Evolution 101, I have online events and I do work with people one-on-one sessions as far as if you want to be more into shadow work, if you would like a personal channeling, the psychic gig. I don't do so much, but the mediumship work sometimes shows up.
Mm-hmm.
However it is, whatever platform you're on, it's Spiritual Evolution 101. And if you hit the .com, you'll get my landing page and it's constantly evolving. I just started doing events just a few months ago. So there'll be an event once a month
Mm-hmm.
that's reasonable and drop in on a group Zoom for a couple hours and just starting to channel and teach concepts that maybe they've been washed out by social media and self-help books. So I'm doing my best to be a
Mm-hmm.
cleaner of sorts. That's what they call me, the cleaner. So,
And
and
thank
it's
you
all
so
about having
much
fun.
for
So we
being
have
the
a good
cleaner.
time. Ah, no
Yes.
problem. Thank you
Yes,
for
absolutely.
witnessing.
And I love the fact that you do bring fun into it too, because life is not that serious.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I love it. And thank you. And again, Mandy, thank you so much.